everyone, great to see you back here on my channel, The Movie Vault. My name is Rob. I'm back with another episode of the Watchlist. I have a small pile of stuff I've watched over the last couple of weeks to talk to you guys since the last episode of the Watchlist. Before we get into that video, I want to quickly remind you guys I have set up a brand new Patreon account where you can see exclusive video content and stuff like that that's not featured here on the main channel, The Movie Vault. So the link is in the description if you guys want to head on over there. You have seen the list of names at the start of the video. Thanks to my Patreon family for supporting the Movie Vault. Let's get into the video. First one up actually here for the watch list, this was a Netflix watched Challenger the Final Flight, I believe it's called. It's kind of a, I can't remember if it was like a 3 or 4 part kind of documentary series on the Challenger space shuttle kind of disaster, and it's a really interesting documentary by Netflix because they talk to the family members of the crew who died in that, you know, the Challenger disaster, whatever you want to call it. Really interesting. Love all the NASA and space stuff. So that was the first one I watched. I recommend checking that out on Netflix if you haven't seen that one. First one, what's this? Level Up Collector's Edition, Scott Pilgrim versus the World Blu-ray. I picked this up on one of those the cheap stores over here deals. Got this for like €3. Really cool. I enjoyed this one. Who directed this one? Edgar Wright, of course, directed this one. Yeah, Michael Cera, Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Really enjoy her. Kieran Culkin's in there as well. Chris Evans, Anna Kendrick, Alison Pill, yeah, Brandon Root, Jason Schwartzman. Really cool, you know, computer gamey type feels with Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I can understand why a lot of people don't like it. I do. I quite enjoyed it. There's a bunch of bonus stuff on here. Crazy bonus stuff. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I would recommend checking this one out if you haven't seen it. I do like it, and I do like Mary Elizabeth Winstead. That was the first one up here in the watch list, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Speaking of that secondhand shop deals, I did get this ages ago. You've probably seen this on the channel already because I've spoken about it in a couple of Inside My Movie collections. This is a Studio Canal release. I wonder what year was this set release. It doesn't say, but Stallone the Collection. So this is Death Race 2000 Cliffhanger and Lockup. So I picked this up again for like, this was like €2 because it's a DVD set here. €3, said I'd pick it up. Didn't have Cliffhanger in the collection, have seen it. So the first one up that I watched here is Death Race 2000 out of these. So who, Death Race 2000, was that a, directed by Paul Bartel, Roger Corman produced Death Race 2000. Yeah, just about this, you know, about this death race. They all kind of have cars. Sly is in there. David Carradine is in there as kind of his main villain in this weird like rubber leather latex suit, and he's like pretend missing an eye. It's a wild out there movie. It's they're racing across country and they get points for killing people as they go along in their cars. Yeah, really kind of interested one. First time watch for me, and yeah, I would recommend checking it out if you haven't. There was some remakes. I remember running like a Jason Statham remake or something years ago as a projectionist, but yeah, that was the next one up that I watched, Death Race 2000, and then the following night I watched Lockup out of this one. So where is Lockup on this one? Directed by John Flynn. So you have Sly's in there. Donald Sutherland is in there as the main kind of villain. John Amos, Darlene Flugel, Frank McRae, and Sonny Landham. Music by Bill Conti, Rocky Connection in there. Lockup was interesting, but it started off kind of weird. I think like Sly is kind of out and he's like with his girlfriend, and she's like a teacher or something at school, and he's at the school turning up, and then kind of like he's like, oh, okay, I have to go to work, and then she drops him off at the prison, and he kind of goes back into the prison, and you're kind of like, wait, what's going on? So he's locked up in the prison, and then he gets transferred overnight to like a kind of a tougher prison, and Donald Sutherland is the kind of the warden or whatever in the tougher prison. And basically it turns out like Sly has escaped from Donald Sutherland's prison, and I guess he's handed himself back in to finish his time. He, you know, he goes through a rough time in lockup second time around with Donald Sutherland basically setting him up and stuff. Interesting. I liked it. I just didn't like the start of the movie. Made no sense because you're trying to figure out like why he's going to work is what he says, but he walks into the prison to kind of hand himself over. You know, it takes a while, at least it did with me to click that like he escaped from prison and he kind of handed himself back in. But yeah, Lockup, that was the next one up in the Stallone collection. I didn't watch Cliffhanger out of this. I have seen Cliffhanger before, but I'll get back to that at some point. Next one up is an Irish movie. I talked about this in the October end of month haul. And this is an Irish movie called Traders. This is a DVD. I got it in that haul. So this is directed by Rachel Moriarty and Peter Murphy. Double kind of co-directors here on this one, Traders. Cool Irish cast in this one. Killian Scott's in there. I talked about Killian Scott on, I can't recall if the review is on the channel here, the Dublin Murders. He was in Love Hate as well, the Irish series. John Bradley's in there, Nika McGuigan, Peter O'Mara, Barry Keoghan. Yeah, really, really great Irish cast in here. So Traders, what are you worth, Traders? This is an interesting kind of movie. Let me read the back of this because it'll kind of explain it a bit more. Harry Fox seems to have it all. Luxury apartment, fancy car. When the company he works for goes bust, it looks like he's going to lose everything. A solution is offered by Vernon Stiles, who is his friend in work. He's masterminded a diabolical all or nothing scheme where you, in the deep web, called trading. So two strangers empty their bank accounts. They sell all their assets. They put all their money in a sports bag. They travel to a remote location and they fight to the death, and the winner takes all the money. And you can continue on trading to get more and more money and make your money. And yeah, that's what the movie is. It's crazy. Just these crazy, like, you know, people run out of money. What are they going to do? They have no job. And then they get into this trading and this kind of fight to the death type thing. Really, really cool, interesting Irish movie. Not much to look at inside, just a disc. But yeah, I'd recommend checking this out. If you haven't seen Traders, do check it out. I do recommend it. It's really interesting movie with kind of double crosses and stuff along the way. Next one up here, this was a first time watch for me, and yeah, we'll just get into it. It's Barry Lyndon, Kubrick's Barry Lyndon. Here you can kind of see that cool kind of box I have here. This is like a hard cover book, and we open it up there, you're going to get to see the Blu-ray and Barry there himself. There's the back kind of explaining. There's no theatrical trailer on this. So before I talk about the movie, I posted a picture of this on Instagram and people kind of said, this is interesting, I haven't seen this version, where did you get it? So this is out of this Kubrick box set, the red and the black Kubrick box set. Again, you can see there in the glare, and we have all the symbols and stuff. I showed this before once in like a haul, and I never really spoke about it on the channel because I haven't watched any of it. So this pulls off and you get all the movies in here in these kind of red hard booklets. There's some postcards and stuff in there. So just briefly, if you're not aware about this box set, this contains Lolita 2001 in 4K, Clockwork Orange, Barry Lyndon, The Shining in 4K, Full Metal Jacket, Eyes Wide Shut, and Kubrick: A Life in Pictures, the documentary. So I have seen only a handful of Kubrick movies, and I picked up that box set in the sale earlier this year. Really wanted to get into Kubrick stuff more. Barry Lyndon, okay, so this movie was unbelievable. It's a beautiful looking movie. John Alcott, I believe, was the director of photography. I think I tweeted about it, or on Instagram I spoke about that. It looks absolutely stunning. Mostly shot in natural light. Which kind of, can you imagine trying to make a movie today saying I'm only shooting in natural light? I know where you'd be told to go. But yeah, Barry Lyndon, fantastic stuff. People had said to me it may require like a couple of watches to kind of get on board with it or like it, and I will admit I watched it in 2 sittings. I watched up to the it comes up during the movie intermission, so I kind of stopped there, and then the following day I picked up and finished the rest of the movie, and I really liked it on first watching. It's a fantastic movie. Of course, like period movie, and I haven't watched a movie like that in a while, so I guess I kind of just thought, like, man, I want to check out this Barry Lyndon and see what everyone's talking about. Really enjoyed it. Highly recommend checking it out. It is a long runtime, 178 minutes, so be prepared to either sit for 3 hours, or like I did, I split it into 2 sittings. But I do recommend checking it out if you've never seen it. Highly recommend checking out Barry Lyndon. That was the next one up there. So the next one up, my friend Paul in work gave to me. This is, I want to say this is like a bootleg label, I'm not too sure. Hong Kong Rescue. This is Jackie Chan Police Story. Yeah, Hong Kong Rescue, it's called Ultimate Blu-ray. This is, they kind of, like, from my understanding, is they source as much of like the movie as they can, like laser discs and stuff, and they put all these different versions on Blu-rays and kind of sell them. So it's like it's not a pressed disc or anything, but they've done artwork and stuff in there on the cover. Really cool. So this is There's spine numbered as well. This is number 2, Hong Kong Rescue it's called. So just as an example here, Police Story, Jackie Chan. This you're getting the uncut 99-minute Hong Kong version. You're getting the extended 105-minute version. Bonus making of, Jackie Chan interviews, Jackie Chan's stunt team interviews, Hong Kong trailer, English trailer, different trailer. 1985. I can't remember which version I watched. Did I watch the uncut or the extended? 99 minutes and 105, 2 different cuts. I watched the dubbed version. Where is the dub? English dub. Oh yeah, so I watched the uncut Hong Kong version. There is a 5.1 English dub on this. I wouldn't say like I'm a huge Jackie Chan fan. Say that 5 times quick. Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm a huge fan of Jackie Chan. I think this was a lot of the comedy. He's on 10 different phones at once, and he's getting tangled up in the phone cords and stuff. I did like the like final act of the movie. You know, it kind of gets serious, and there's a lot of cool fight stuff in there, fight scenes, fight stunts, fight choreography. Yeah, quite interesting. Police Story. Hong Kong Rescue is the name of the crowd that puts out that one. And final last one up here for you guys in this episode of the Watchlist. This was a Criterion Spine 947, but this is a Criterion UK 947, so it might not be the same in the States. Shampoo, Hal Ashby directed movie, isn't it? I believe it's Hal Ashby, yeah. I want to say I picked this up earlier in the year at a sale. I want to say Cinema Dave recommended this on his channel, and decided to pick it up. Warren Beatty, Julie Christie, Goldie Hawn's on there. Big fan of Goldie Hawn. You know, you guys probably know I've said that before. Warren Beatty, man, this probably sounds terrible, but I'm not like overly familiar with Warren Beatty's stuff. Maybe except Dick Tracy from being a kid. This was a really interesting movie. I really enjoyed this. Watched this last night only. And who else is in this? Oh my god, Jack Warden is in here as well. You'll know Jack Warden from some stuff. Lee Grant is in there as well. I didn't know the life of a hairdresser could be so interesting. On election night, it all kind of goes down, and Warren Beatty's trying to figure out all these relationships with, like, Julie Christie and Goldie Hawn and stuff on there. Really liked it. Everybody was quite good in the cast. Yeah, I do highly recommend checking this one out. 75 minutes, 110 minutes, 1975. Sorry, apologies there. Mono Criterion restoration looks good. I believe this was inside you have the disc, and there's a kind of a fold out poster deal in there, and it tells you in here about the transfer. Yeah, 35mm original camera negative. Spoke about all that Criterion and restoration stuff before, but yeah, that was the last kind of watch list one up here. Shampoo. Do recommend checking it out. Yeah, it's really interesting watch. I can't really say much more than that without kind of giving it away. And in case you guys haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil it, because I do recommend checking it out. That kind of wraps it up for another episode of the watch list here, guys. Thanks for watching, and yeah, as I said at the start of the video, links in the description, Patreon, t-shirt store if you want to help support the Movie Vault. You can also support by giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the little bell to get notified every time I post a new video. I'm going to leave some videos on screen here for you guys that you might be interested in checking out. As always, great to see you here on the channel, and I hope to see you on the next video. Thanks for watching, guys.